hi everybody, welcome to TDL Live. Yes.
You sure this is working?
I'm pretty sure it's working. It is Tuesday. Got to get used to Tuesday, new night.
Oh, that's right, yeah, I forgot. It's been a long time.
Tuesday, August 3rd, 2010. This is TDL Live. I'm Ryan Ritchie. This is Jamie DeGrazia. We took a little summer break.
Yeah, I was working on my tan. I don't know if you've noticed.
It's great. You're doing a great job there. We are back, and we are in slightly lower def. We're operating on the B camera, as it were. Yeah. But that's okay. You're not here for the resolution.
We look a little better in lower def.
You're here for the entertainment. So if you're new, how lucky to just stumble upon this tonight. You're going through, dialing through all the billions of web pages, and you find us. Each week we take a look at tech news of the week. We put it in a bowl, and then we pull it out in a seemingly random pattern, and we talk about the stuff and give you our thoughts, which, what would you do without that?
Well, usually the tech news has like sort of a Mac angle mixed with maybe some pop culture.
That's right. It's all in the mix.
Yeah.
It's all in there. Don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter at TDL Live. Also, iChat TDL Live. Let us know you can see us right now. That'd be helpful. We might be flying blind, as they say. With that, let's get started. But before we get into the tech news, I think we need to go back. Let's go back billions of years.
Okay.
I'm concerned about the Triceratops.
They're all dead. I don't know if you know that. Well, they're not coming back.
I understand that, but apparently now they may not have actually been.
I saw the story.
Triceratops. They may have actually been the babies of the Torosaurus. Which, why didn't we ever hear about this if it's a giant Triceratops?
It sounds ridiculous. Because I'm not. What is that? A paleontologist. I couldn't think of it.
Yes.
But the skeletons they have of the Triceratops, they're quite large. They're like, they fill up this whole room.
Okay.
Right?
True.
So if that's the baby,
right,
then how big is the mommy?
I mean, you would think, since, things like the T-Rex, that's what you see at a museum.
Yeah.
If this giant thing's out there, that would be what we would find in different museums.
I think those guys are just drunk or something.
So,
they're high and drunk.
We've dusted off the cobwebs. Now we're ready for the tech news.
Okay.
Go for it. Also, don't forget, you can give us a call, 408-627-8242.
Still works?
42. We'll see. We'll see what happens. What we got there?
Big story of, I guess, the last 48 hours. Jailbreak 2.0 is live and working. So you can just now, the great thing about this jailbreak is you just go to a website, jailbreakme.com. Go there on your iDevice and slide to jailbreak, and you wait a few minutes, and boom, your thing's jailbroken.
Boom. You said it just like Steve would. If
and
he
it
was
works.
Pushing. I bet Apple wishes they would have bought that domain. They should have bought everything jailbreak related when they had the chance. So I understand that someone.
Yeah, I did. I tried it.
Okay.
Like a fool. Saw the post up on Engadget, and let me just go try it. What could possibly go wrong? And it just worked. It jailbroke the phone. Installed the Cydia app, and now I can install any number of, unprotected and illegal software.
Jamie DeGrazio, unprotected.
I don't know. I mean, I see the advantages of jailbreaking if you want the tethering. It looks like a lot of people are able to, circumvent the whole AT&T Apple tethering situation. Or if you're looking to unlock your phone, you have to jailbreak it first. But besides those two features, I really can't find anything worthwhile.
So beyond circumventing, I mean, maybe we were saying before the show started that maybe under OS 3 it made a little bit more sense.
Sure, because you could add the multitasking and like the wallpapers and things like that. Here's
my theory, and I know the folks at home have missed my zany theories all summer. My theory is that Apple secretly likes the jailbreaking community. Would you like to know why?
Why?
Because it's the cheapest.
Because you screw up your phone and you come into the Genius Bar.
It's the cheapest R&D department they can have. If they see, everybody's jailbreaking their phone for multitasking, well, I guess we'll add multitasking.
Yeah.
So whatever it is people want gets added. Now let's hope that they add some sort of accessory to play games. Well,
that's the only. So I was looking for an app. Like, what am I going to do with this phone now that I jailbroke it? So two things I wanted to try out. One, I wanted to try out that whole flash hack that's available on the iPod, and so I put it on the phone. I was hoping certain websites would work, and basically the Marvel Comics,
Sure,
the Marvel
sure,
Comics site. I was hoping, well, if this works on the phone, maybe I'll get an iPad. So and it didn't work, so I took that off. And then I was looking at these NES emulators, and I tried one of them, and that's kind of cool. But I mean, there's plenty of great games on the iPhone anyhow. So.
And you were saying the NES emulators, you have to pay for the NES?
Well, that was the shady thing. It's like I'm giving this guy. I mean, I did the trial version, but it's like $5, which isn't a lot, but it seems kind of shady. I mean, I know you're paying for him to develop this app, but he's sort of making money off of piracy, right? Somebody owns these ROMs, Nintendo or Sega or what have you. So, I mean, I might keep the phone jailbroke for now, just in case something pops up that's of interest, but let's see what the big deal is.
Speaking of Nintendo.
Yeah.
So, on the Wii, I have been playing the old Mario, the original Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario.
And a couple of things came flooding back. First of all, moral dilemmas.
Okay.
One, should I use the warp zones?
Okay.
I don't know. And two, feel free to help me out here, community. I don't know what's more important. Do I want to try to get a higher score? Or do I want to try to get the level done quicker? Or am I only concerned with coins and this stupid princess?
Well, I haven't played Mario Brothers in a long time, but the coins obviously give you the one-up.
Right.
I'm not familiar. I don't remember what the score does.
I don't think it does anything.
I don't think the score does anything. The warp zones, well, I mean, if you want to cheat, or if you just want to shorten your game experience and you want to get to the end quicker. I remember playing as a kid, once you discovered that warp zone, you were like, it was like the holy grail. You could beat the game much easier.
Did you beat the game?
You've never beat Super Mario Brothers? I mean, I remember getting Nintendo, and it took me like, I got Mario Bros. For Christmas. It took me like a whole month, but I finally finished it.
Here's what happened. I was going to school, and there was this kid on the bus who was pretty stupid. He didn't have a mental issue. He was just stupid. Yeah. He was a dumb kid. And I overheard him talking to this other guy about how he was on like 5-1 or 5-2. Yeah. I'm like, I can't get out of 2.
Yeah.
And then it turned out that's how I found out about these warp zones.
The warp zones, yeah.
Because he's like, well, what are you doing on 1-3? Only an idiot's on 1-3. And that stayed with me. Now there are those, Matt Girl behind the camera, who argue you shouldn't warp because you need the skill you learn.
Well, yeah, levels. I mean, especially going back now, those games are kind of brutally hard, so.
Just the idea, you kids today, just the idea that you have to start at the beginning every time. You can't just keep going and going. So anyhow, that's my Nintendo Mario Brothers dilemma.
Nintendo Minute.
I'll post that on Facebook or Twitter. Figure out what's more important, the time, the points.
The coins, I think.
The coins are key. But I'm like going through and I'm thinking, well, here's a bunch of bricks. Should I break all these bricks because they're 200 points
well,
each?
because you're looking for hidden coins.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm losing time.
Okay.
So anyhow.
You had a lot of free time this summer, I said.
I did, absolutely. Without the show. I might lateral this to you. So actually, this is a new rule. This is a re-bowl.
Okay.
That was not allowed back in May. Exciting new feature here. So the iPhone, you hear highest ever with the iPhone a lot, and once again, the iPhone had its highest ever gain in web use in July.
Yeah.
People keep using the phone more and more to, I guess, AT&T's dismay.
Well, the weird thing is you hear every week there's a different conflicting story. You hear like iPhone usage is up, and then the next week it's Android is more popular than iPhone, and you hear so who knows who to believe.
I guess the people who have their iPhones are using them more.
Because there was just a story last week that said the Droid users use more data than the AT&T users, than the iPhone users. So you would think that means they're doing more things online. I don't know.
So there was nothing. I just wanted to jump back because I went off on that Nintendo rant. Any other jailbreaking things you noticed? Thoughts? I guess you also can run some apps over 3G that you can't.
Yeah, I mean, people are now doing FaceTime over 3G, and it certainly makes it more interesting. I mean, more useful over 3G. But yeah, I mean, the great thing about the whole jailbreak situation is that it showed there's a huge exploit in the iOS right now. This whole PDF exploit, and that's how they install the Cydia software. So the good thing that's going to happen is Apple is going to patch this, which is, it's bad for the jailbreaking community, but it's good for everybody else because it, it protects users from going to a site that sort of spoofs. Maybe you're doing a Google search for jailbreak and they spoof that address, and then you slide to unlock, and here these people have access to your phone.
So it's interesting because this is not the first time, as you said. This was very similar to something that happened when the iPhone first came out.
Yeah,
and
Apple patched
TIFF
it.
exploit, and they patched it. For our used book review, the next one, it's a book called Mac Hacker's Handbook, which basically talks about hacking, literally, Macs when you're on Leopard. But the thing that was interesting was they pointed out how hackers, Apple does this strange thing where when something gets patched, they release the patch to FreeBSD first, if it's involved with the open source stuff, and then there's about a 3-week lag before it gets into the Apple product. So what they were suggesting in this book, if you were, that kind of person, if you hang out in
you're
those
monitoring
forums, when you see the fix, then you've got 3 weeks to try to hack the Mac.
That goes on with the Windows community too. Obviously, it's a much bigger community.
Sure.
But they do the same thing. They look at what Microsoft is going to patch, and then they have like a window of opportunity to exploit that hole. So now Microsoft's doing this whole thing where they're going to go to the antivirus makers, like people like Norton, and they're going to say, okay, this is what we're going to patch. So if you get your software up to speed, then hopefully that'll protect people from, that window of opportunity will close, basically, if Norton does the thing on their end. What are you laughing?
I'm sorry. There's a cat vomiting on a plate off to your side. It made it a little difficult. It's going again, Mac Girl. If you want to work on that.
He's not thrilled with the show right now.
Here it reminds.
She caught it. She got it.
Good job. It reminds me though how long we've been gone. You may be wondering, how long have we been gone? We've been gone so long that an entire mobile platform came and left.
Yes.
And of course I'm referring to Microsoft's Kin.
Yeah, the life and death of the Kin.
What happened there?
It was like one of those, those like, what are they, those bugs that come out like once every 10 years, what are they called, locusts? And they just like, they're born just to breed and then they die and you don't see them again. Their lifespan's like, 2 days. That's what the Kin was. Like.
But you were saying a lot of money involved.
A lot of money. Well, at this point, Microsoft, they have a lot of money to spend.
Sure.
But they really should just think about just burning the money at this point because they spent, I think some people, if you factor in what they paid for Danger, the Sidekick guys, that was like $800 million. And then this whole Kin thing cost them another $250 million. Just burn the $1 billion, have a big bonfire.
And you would have more people because I think best case they had low 5 figures, and that's at the high end of how many sales. And if you say, hey, we're going to burn $1 billion next week, I think you get more than 10,000 people to
Or what
show
about
up.
if you just give away $1 billion to your users as like a goodwill? You say, I don't know what that would equal, maybe $10 a person or something. They
should have buried it, and it should have been a Bing.com
or have crazy contests and just give $1 billion. I don't know, but yeah. So the Kin's dead. It's like a collector's item now. It's like like what, like ColecoVision,
like the Sidekick or the N-Gage.
The N-Gage. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So Kin, we hardly knew ye, and it was funny because it was killed off, and then I was still seeing ads. Because they apparently already purchased the ad time, and what are you going to do? But anyhow, I believe you're up, sir.
All right. Well, I'm going to lateral this to you because I haven't really.
Is this the one I was going to lateral to you? So Verizon's working on the 4G, their 4G rollout.
Yeah.
And I guess first they're going to focus on modems, 4G modems, but they're looking at a roadmap with phones in January. This is from Electronista, and apparently by the end of 2013 or 2013, I know you prefer that, 2013, every 3G area will be able to have 4G according to Verizon's numbers. Now, there's a big story that we haven't talked about yet that I'll have a little more commentary on this when we get to it. That's the other big phone announcement of earlier today. But 4G is coming, and I would think that may very well be when you see the iPhone on Verizon.
So 2000.
No. January.
But in limited. Well, because LTE is only, that's 4G, right?
Correct.
That's only going to be in a certain
It's not
amount
going to
of
be all the markets, but if it's, well, it would have to be backwards compatible with Verizon.
Yeah, that's the
that could
thing.
Be a tricky
so,
but it depends. The chip will probably do both because
Yeah.
those phones will need to be able to do both.
That's true.
January, iPhone, Verizon, not the most dramatic prediction I've ever made. All right, you go again because you lateraled that.
You don't want to do some witty banner.
We're running out of witty banner. There's one on there I'm very excited to talk to you about.
These are always really bad
Up
stories.
and down,
but,
down and up.
Internet Explorer gains market share. I hate these browser stories. At the expense of Firefox. So Internet Explorer is up to what, 60%. Firefox is down.
Safari,
49%.
I think, was pretty much even. Actually, Safari went up
gained.
a little bit.
I mean, this is, there's no more of these. No more of these.
But they come out every month. It's a nice little filler.
Yeah.
Makes it easy. Hey, speaking of filler,
Sure.
I understand that we call you around here the young Andy Rooney. I understand you'd like to talk about the state of summer movies.
Oh, well, I was just, I mean, I don't know if you saw a lot of summer movies. We were off for a few weeks.
Yes.
We had some spare time.
Yes.
So I checked out a few movies.
Okay, what'd you see?
I saw Iron Man 2.
Okay.
You
Did
saw
see
that.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that was, it was acceptable. It was
fine.
whatever. It was a popcorn movie. Inception.
Haven't seen it.
Very,
don't
very
spoil it for
good.
me.
Very
Oh.
good. And we saw Predators, which was, it was like, well, we could have rented that probably. But I'm just saying this.
A-Team? Did you see
I
that?
didn't see A-Team. But this summer,
Yes.
I mean, I'm not a Toy Story guy because I don't like cartoons. But this summer, it just seemed like the worst summer for movies. Like nothing to get you into the theater. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
I think it's just you.
Nothing appealed to me.
But you saw Iron Man 2.
Saw that, yeah. That's
And you were okay with
two
that.
movies we saw. Inception. I don't even count Predators because that was a bad choice. I mean, we wasted the $20. We could have. It was fine. It was an okay movie, but
You know what it is. You've come down with the Tron fever.
well, I'm excited about Tron. Don't get me wrong.
Can they build this thing up anymore?
It's going to be disappointing.
It has to be.
Yeah, it's going to be a
has to
letdown.
But we had the Daft Punk tracks leak.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
But it's just the worst. I mean, Hollywood's bankrupt on ideas. They are bankrupt.
Sure.
And they're just taking every bad 80s movie, every bad comic book. Now they're getting to like the third tier comic book characters, like Ant-Man and
Well, Disney bought Marvel, so they
it's making every bad comic book character is going to be in a movie now.
I just pulled this out because it's sort of related. The Facebook movie, the Social Network.
Yes.
The trailer for that came out.
Yeah, it looked.
The first trailer looked horrible.
Yeah.
It looked absolutely terrible. And then the second one, you're like, well, okay, this might be doable. But there's just something about movies, about computers and technology. It never works.
Well, it seems too soon, right? Isn't it?
I think
Facebook
so.
just kind of blew up a couple
We don't even
years
know
ago.
the story yet.
Yeah, I don't.
Will there be an
And
IPO?
is there much of a story?
There's background drama.
know.
I don't know how you fill 2 hours.
Yeah,
with
I
it,
don't.
But we'll see. Maybe 5 years from now, it would have been a better movie. I'm saying.
Where's Pirates of Silicon Valley 2? Where's the sequel to that? You get both those guys back.
cheaper?
Yeah,
Cheaper now.
get a bigger budget. Mm-hmm. I don't know, missed opportunity.
I'd like to see a cameo by Woz.
Who would play Woz? No one would play Woz. Remember that guy who was on Tool Time?
Richard Karn, the neighbor.
The big guy. Yeah.
He's busy. He was hosting Family Feud. I think he's done with that.
Yeah,
Everybody kills themselves. I don't know if you know that. I pulled out that social network thing, so it's up to you. I think it's just you. I think it's as bad as it's been the last couple of years. The movies.
Just a couple quick hits here. iPhone 4 launches in Canada.
Hold on.
Right.
Quick hit. Seems like.
All right. I mean, there's not much to say about that. iPhone 4.
Enjoy it.
Safari 5.0 with the plugins. They add the plugins. I don't know. You use the plugin. I use Chrome. I don't know.
Okay.
And new Kindle for
The new
$139.
I know that I think is interesting because I think at $139 there is a there's enough of a market differentiation between, well, do I buy an iPad or do I buy a Kindle? If grandma doesn't need the iPad,
Sure.
$139 for the Kindle. I think it's interesting. I've contacted them to get us a review unit. We'll see.
So do you think by Christmas one of these like e-readers will be $100, like either the Nook or like the older
think
Kindle
so.
you
Yeah.
sell for $100? So I think they would
the
clean
point.
up. Yeah, $100 for that. Yeah. I mean, I don't want it, but
Of course, in January, the iPad probably goes down $100 too. So
Yeah.
all these things move kind of at the same time. From the chat, we're told The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is a movie worth checking out this summer.
I never heard of it.
Well, it's part of a 3-book trilogy.
Yeah, I know it was a book, yeah.
All right.
What else we got?
I've got the cat has now moved onto the studio
It's feeling
floor.
better.
You're up. No, wait,
No,
you
that
just
was
did
you.
your quick hits. Okay. So iOS, I'm still getting used to that.
Yeah.
A whole new term since we were last year. iOS 4.1 Beta 3 has been released. The interesting note here from MacNN is that Game Center support has been pulled for iPhone 3G and second generation iPod Touch. Now, I don't understand this because I really thought this was more or less the same thing you get with OpenFaint, which doesn't seem to be OS dependent or hardware dependent.
No. And the only benefit I can see is, like right now with the iPhone 4 and the iPad, you could probably push those devices a little harder in terms of the kind of graphics you have on those devices. So by sort of cutting out the low end, making the requirements a little higher, so you have to have at least a 3GS, you might get some better looking games. But a lot of these games they're talking about, especially playing against each other, are going to be turn-based games. So like you don't really need a high. I mean, the 3G is probably going to play 90% of the games on the iPhone, on the App Store now anyhow.
Right.
It kind of sucks, but it might benefit users in the long run because you get games that push the hardware a little bit.
But just to be clear, Game Center on the application side though is more or less like something
it's just some sort of matchmaking service.
Right?
Yeah. I mean,
it's kind of weird.
the app itself would probably run just fine.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But as I understand it, the last we heard, OpenFaint, either they definitely are going to migrate or they at least can migrate all the score information into Game Center.
Yeah, and I think there's rumors that OpenFaint is now looking at Android or Facebook, I think. So.
Well, we wish them well with that.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting they've done some rebranding where they really push the game of the day now. Maybe they can find a revenue model there. I know they have an ad at the top for a different game. So, but that's insider baseball, as they say. Let's go back to the banter.
Yeah.
Only one left, and this one's all
Yeah,
you.
I don't understand this one.
Lady news.
Yeah, what?
Well, generally during the show, we have some sort of chat about ladies.
Like what? Like famous ladies?
Famous
What are you talking-
sometimes.
I don't know.
Like,
Well, your girl Lindsay Lohan got released.
that's something else that the entire thing happened. She served her whole sentence since we were
Yes.
gone.
Other than that, I can't think.
You like that chick from the Mad Men, Christina,
I've never seen that show.
the redhead. You know.
I
what
know.
I'm talking
I
about.
know who she is. She's attractive.
You like
I like them. What? What are you trying to say?
you like ladies.
I like ladies who look like ladies. You know.
Okay, fair enough. I'm told we're done banter.
We are done, man.
Who is up?
That would be you.
Okay.
Why don't you finish it off here?
Finish it off. What's up with that La La Layla project?
Yeah, what's up with that?
What's up with that? So 8 months after Apple bought out La La Layla.
Yeah.
Layla?
Lala, I think.
Layla?
Whatever.
At any rate, nothing's really happened.
No,
with it.
they're building that big center
in
where
North Carolina.
Yeah.
And now the rumor is, and this is from CNET, who, by the way, used to do that show Beyond 2000. Do you remember Beyond 2000 on TV? No. Okay. That they're thinking that they might be holding out for licensing deals with video. This is some sort of
because
video
there's that
service.
rumor, like, because really, what are they going to offer? They have to offer some sort of streaming video service, right? At this point, to compete with like Netflix and
my guess is it would tie back to those rumors again while we were gone about some sort of revamped Apple TV that's very small, like
very
the size
cheap,
of an iPhone.
and then they're streaming everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably what that ties into. Maybe a January launch again. January. It's kind of fun. We came back here right in the lull. Not much happens August, September.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it won't be exciting. So tune in.
Well, we had cat vomit. That was exciting.
That was exciting. It's a shame Camera 2 couldn't pick that up. I see it's still covered over there.
Just let it be, You're gonna have a new piece of furniture.
Junk in the trunk. Is that true?
I don't know what that means.
No?
What does that mean?
Okay, just checking. Just comment. I thought I'd check. Don't forget the Twitter feed, TDL Live, and also America's fastest growing Twitter feed, 3-word app reviews.
Yes, yes. Has anybody been updating these Twitter feeds?
3-word app reviews
for the
has
last
been
3
updated.
months?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Not daily, but it's been updated.
Okay.
And now we're back on a daily schedule with that. We're gonna do some double tap as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Folks, you remember double tap, where we sit down and look at 2 apps, and it's called double tap. Any teaser as to what your app is this week?
No teaser. Still working on it.
Playing them close to the vest. You know, if you're a premium member, you would reveal it to premium members.
Yeah, we have a secret RSS feed.
We should do that. I hear other sites do that. It's a big hit. Don't forget, you can help us out by clicking on that lovely donate button. Do we have a donate?
I think
All right. Well, so here's what you need to do.
Send us a check.
Send a check, or we do have the link to iTunes.
Yeah, sure.
So if you go to iTunes, and if you'd be kind enough to buy 20 times the amount of stuff you normally would, with the commission, that works
Sure.
out to giving us that amount as a donation.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Nickel on every dollar? Full disclosure here.
Are we done?
Well, we're early. We got time.
Oh,
now.
really? Jeez, we're out of stories. Come
I
on.
know. What do you got? Surely you have a funny story for us.
I don't. I got a bad back. I can't be standing here.
What happened?
Well, I hurt my back weightlifting like an idiot. I was bedridden for 2 days, hunched over, couldn't stand up.
Ladies were in the gym, and you're like, "Watch this
No, I
220."
was just being an idiot. Exactly. Just being dumb, you know. Not listening to your body. That's what you see when you're weightlifting, and obviously you can tell I weigh 150 pounds. When you're weightlifting, listen to your body. When you feel something hurts,
Don't push it.
don't ignore pain. Don't be like, oh, I'll just do another. No.
And by the way, if you don't mind me delving a little further into your personal life here, also on the way, I've been enjoying the Punch Out.
Yes.
And that makes me think of you now, because I understand you're
Yeah, I'm trying to learn some boxing to supplement the, look at me, I'm scrawny. I need to bulk up. So.
in case you're in a dark alley. So
Yeah, you know how to throw your hands around, defend yourself.
when you show up with a mouth guard, you've gone too far.
I got a mouth guard now.
Have you won any bouts?
No, come on, I can't be revealing all this stuff.
Well, the folks might want to come
They're
and
not
watch.
interested in my...
They wanna
I'm not fighting anybody. I don't want to get punched in the
Are
face.
you going to be in UFC?
No. You got me confused with another X-Mac genius.
All right. Well, don't forget you can join us again.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, maybe. We'll let you know. Next Tuesday, 9 o'clock for more TDL Live, because once is just not enough. So, thank you very much, and we'll do it again, perhaps, maybe. Bye-bye, everybody.